Hey folks, Nas here. I appreciate everybody joining me today for another No Man's Sky All Alone series episode. So today we're going to switch gears a little bit. So in the last episode we were doing a little bit of building. Haven't been doing a whole lot of that, but I still have at least 3 more bases to build. So we have our very first base. Now granted, it's kind of a hodgepodge, but we took over a minor settlement and everything. And then our second base is going to be our main, kind of our main base. It's where all of our storage is going to be. It's where all of our refiners are going to be and stuff like that. And then all of the other bases are going to be kind of like outpost bases. They're going to each have some kind of small function to make them a quote usable base for the rules that I've set in place for myself and others if you want to follow along. If you are wanting to follow along and you want to share your adventures, whether you're doing the All Alone series or just playing No Man's Sky and want to share with other viewers and myself and everything, feel free to join my Discord. I do have a No Man's Sky section in my Discord to where you can share your pictures and adventures of No Man's Sky. Again, whether it's the All Alone series that you're trying to do or just playing No Man's Sky. I'd love to see what everybody's doing, so feel free to go join my Discord and share your adventures and everything. But like I said, we're kind of changing gears today. We are going to start working on doing some Nexus missions. So there's 2 reasons to do Nexus missions. One is to get your 16 glyphs. So if we go into the catalog and go to collected knowledge, go to Atlas, go to portal glyphs. You can see that I have now collected 2 glyphs. Just by exploring, I've come across the grave sites. But I've got 14 other glyphs that I need to get. The second reason to do Nexus missions is to also get Quicksilver. Now, Quicksilver will get you or allow you the ability to build special items and things like that at the Quicksilver Synthesis Companion. So you can actually go into here and create exotic items from Quicksilver. And there's a ton of stuff that you can do, but you can see the different values over here on the right-hand side. You can collect appearance upgrades and things like that, or you can, acquire items that you can put in your base, posters. You can acquire what am I trying to think of? Tails. Now, granted, this is for the freighter. We're in abandoned mode. We'll never have a freighter. But you can also get them for your jetpack and for your starship. And then, of course, just decorative items around your base. Now, what I am looking to purchase is this. The Void Egg. Now, I'd mentioned this in the last episode or something, that I kind of had an idea on how to get an S-class ship. Now, I've been collecting a ton of the Sentinel ships and barely finding any A-class. Now, finding higher class ships and multi-tools in different systems in the normal game, you kind of want to hit the high economy systems, so like the 3-star systems. In abandoned mode, we have no real economy. There's nobody to trade with, even though things magically repopulate the galactic trade terminals. There's nobody to trade with. There is no real economy. So all of the systems that you're going to jump to are 1-star systems. There will never be a 2 or a 3-star system because we're in abandoned mode. We're supposed to be the only ones here. So that's going to just right off the bat make it harder for us to acquire an S-class ship or even multi-tool. Now, you can acquire the S-class by finding an A-class and then upgrading it with nanites at the Starship Outfitter, or even the multi-tool. You can do the same thing at the multi-tool upgrade unit in the space stations. But again, that's going to take hundreds of thousands of nanites. because I believe to go from A to S on a starship is 125,000 nanites. And I believe, I don't even know, because I don't even have an A-class weapon yet, but the B-class weapon to go from B to A, I think is 68,000 nanites. I think that's what it was. So there, right there, just to go from A to S on the ship and from B to A on the multi-tool, you're looking at almost 190,000 nanites, maybe a little bit more. That's a ton of nanites to try and get in abandoned mode, which is restrictive anyway, especially in the mode that I'm playing in. I mean, I have a stack limit of like 3 on the shards. I can only get 150 nanite clusters when refining items in the refiner and stuff like that. So my thought is, let's get our Quicksilver up, let's get a void egg, and we can get a living ship. Now the process is long. It won't be long when I'm recording it and showing you, but the process is long. It's going to take you at least a week, 5 days, something like that, of doing the items you need to do each day. So if you haven't ever gotten a void egg, or excuse me, if you haven't ever gotten a living ship before, I do have a video on how to go through that process. I am not going to redo all of that in this series because it's just too long. So I'll put a link in the description or up on the screen or something for how to get your very first living ship. Then I also have an additional video on how to get upgrades for normal and permadeath play. Getting upgrades for abandoned mode for the living ship is going to be, again, a little more difficult, but I may go over that later in the series. But I do have an upgrades video that shows you how to get the upgrades and how to hunt and find additional living ships. I'll also put that link in the description as well. So go visit those, go watch those videos. If you've never gotten a living ship before, it's definitely an experience. They're definitely cool ships, and it may be something that you really like to do. So go check those out. But this is what I'm thinking about for our S-class ship, because living ships are a guaranteed S-class ship. They're like the exotic ships. They're guaranteed S-class. But I need the Quicksilver for that. Now, in order to get Quicksilver, you need to do Nexus missions, especially in abandoned mode. This is the only way you get Quicksilver. So in doing so, we can get, during the week, we can get 400 Quicksilver for each of these orange missions right here. And this one here says survey a planet. Should be fairly simple as long as it's not an aggressive sentinel planet. The other reason to do Nexus missions is to get your glyphs. And I currently do not see the mission that we need to be doing to get those glyphs. Now, I do have a video on how to get your glyphs in abandoned mode. I'll also put that link in the description. Feel free to go and visit that video. That way you can see how to do and what Nexus mission to do in order to get your 16 glyphs, which I will be doing that as well. But right now, I think that we're going to do the survey planet. We cannot do the survey planet. I just remembered we cannot do the survey planet because we have to upload this, and it's very buggy in abandoned mode because you got to use a booster, and the booster requires a particular battery which we cannot get, and it's not an item that you can build. So I am going to have to wait until this changes. So I believe these missions will rotate out every 10 to 12 minutes or something like that. So I will be back in just a minute when these missions change, and let's see if we can find one that I know that we can do. But the survey planet, if you're in abandoned mode, don't waste your time because you cannot upload the data that you're collecting from the planet. Now, you can go and do it to find a planet, and if you've got the nutrient ingester for your exosuit, and you have the meal that you can eat that increases how many units you make from scanning animals and stuff like that. You could go and do that if you wanted to, but just know that you're going to abandon the mission. You will not be able to complete the mission. I tried this the other day in abandoned mode, and I could not do it. And it's the second time I've tried it and had to abandon it. It just doesn't. You just can't do it because of the booster. Your booster doesn't. You can't use the booster for whatever reason. And apparently that's been an ongoing bug that has not been fixed. But regardless, ranting at this point, let me reload, let me wait a little bit and let these missions change. And that's going to determine what we end up doing today as far as Nexus missions. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Alrighty, I am back, and it looks like the Nexus missions have changed over. So now our one that gives us the 400 Quicksilver is to construct an outpost. Now, this could be easy, and then again, it could be a pain in the butt, depending on what pieces it wants us to use, because it's going to tell you what pieces. It's not that you just pick this up and then go build a base. So this may take a minute, it may not, but it has a series of pieces it wants us to use particularly for the mission. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do this because I don't see the other mission to get the glyphs. So that may be in a different episode, but let's go ahead and do the constructed outpost. We're going to pick that up. We're going to initialize mission, and we're going to start mission. Let's make sure that it does right. Yes, civilized space. All right, so we're going to head to our ship, and we are going to go to space. It may or may not teleport you to a different system. Now, I ended up moving to a new system to hopefully get the Nexus missions to switch. But it looks like it's in the same system that I am currently in. And what's on this planet before I even just go down there? Whew, at least it's not aggressive sentinels, and it doesn't look like I'm going to have to worry about hazard protection. So that's good. So let's get down here. We can just go right down here to the location. That's interesting to put the location like right on a monolith. Okay, let's just go ahead and land on the surface. Now, you can, once you build this base, you can keep it as your base, or you can just remove it once the mission is complete. Wait, there's animals on this planet. Oh, look at there. Is it just one? Or are there more than one? Oh, there's 3 animals on this planet. Okay, so before we leave, I want to make sure to try and scan all the animals on this. Oh, that's kind of cool. Some funky little animals. Okay. Now, let's see. Habitable planet reached. Establish a construction site. One explorer deploy. I don't know why it says one explorer. I guess you can, I mean, you can have, multiple people with you. But we need to, so when you open your build unit, we need to build a base computer. It'll usually blink the item that you need to start the project. I'm not going to worry about color because I don't necessarily plan on keeping this base. However, I do want to go to the space station and save this. I think I saved this system, but I'm going to make sure. Let's see. Let's claim the base. Okay, construct a cylindrical room. Okay, well, I don't have the materials for that on me. Yeah, see, it wants a cylindrical room. I need to drop that there And I need to try and bring in my Colossus. Let's just drop that on my head. And we're going to build a cylindrical room. So we should be able to do this. Doesn't matter where you put it, how you put it, or anything like that. We need a halo door. What am I missing for that? Gold. Are you kidding me? I'm missing gold? I'm missing gold. Let's see. What is on this planet? There is gold on this planet. There's gold and then there are hills. Okay. Oh, there's another animal. It's two animals. Look around for the other one real quick, just in case. I don't see any other animals. Okay. There's quartzite. There's gold over there. Is there any closer than 700 units away? It does not look like there's more or any closer. All right, so let me go grab some gold over here. Alrighty, I've reached the gold. Let me collect some of this and head back so we can build whatever it is that we need to build. Oh, there's the third animal. It's a flying bird. There we go. We got all three animals on this planet. Let's go ahead and go into here. Click that, and let's collect our 750 nanites. Perfect. Those are kind of cool looking things. And I've got my gold, so let me head back to the base so we can continue building. Okay, we are back at our base. I need to... Let's do this. I'm gonna call in my Minotaur real quick. I am also going to call in my roamer. And then I can pick this up. Because the roamer may have some things in it I might need. Alright, we got to build a halo door. Missing components. Oh, the ferrite does, because this isn't active. There we go. Now I should be able to get it. Yep, that's active now. Put the halo door over here. What's next? 2 glass-roofed corridors. Of course it wants glass. Of course it does. Okay. We need 2 pieces of glass then. Can I get... glass? So we can use silicate powder to make glass. So let's do that. It's going to take 20 seconds to build those 2 pieces of glass. Okay, sounds like the glass is done. There we go. Put that in there. Let's put that back in the Colossus. And glass roofed corridor 2. So let's go into fly mode. And then I'm going to put it just on the other side of the base. We'll do one on one side, one on the other, I guess. Cuboid room. Oh my gosh. In a biodome. Okay, we need... I think it's 5 pieces of glass for the biodome. Dadgummit. Is it 5? Yes, it's 5 pieces of glass for the biodome. And the cuboid room... we can actually just use pure ferrite. Okay, so let me start processing some more dust. Because we're going to need 5 pieces of glass. So let me process that, and then I can do the cuboid room while we wait. Man, I got the jitters there. Okay, let's go back into fly mode. And cuboid room. It looks. Let's do this. Let's do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's 6 on the cuboid room. And I got 3 glass there. Let's add some more glass, or more powder. And I need to make 2 more glass. Okay, sounds like my glass is done. Drop that in the exosuit, put that back in the Colossus. We now have 5 pieces of glass. Now we need to do the biodome, which we can put right on top. Now, one thing about building these structures is on the bottom right hand side of the screen, once the details change, so it had us build the cuboid rooms and the biodome, I can now take the biodome and the cuboid rooms down, get the materials back to build the next sections if I need to. Okay, so we have to build a dish, receptor, antenna, 2 flags, and a bed. Oh my gosh. Okay. 2 flags is what it said. I'm pretty sure. 2 flags. Oh, flag number 2. Okay, so that's the one we have, flag number 2. I did choose that one. And we have to build 2 of those. Let's do 1 and 2. We'll just put them right on top of the door there. We need a bed, which is going to be here, there, and then we can build the bed inside, literally just wherever, because I am not keeping this base. And then we dish, receptor, antenna. Where the hell is that? Oh, here it is right there. Dish, receptor, antenna. We're going to have 3 of those. Okay, well, we'll just do 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Those look great. Okay. Now, let's get back out of here. What does our civilized space say? Upload base report for the Space Anomalies Archives. Upload data from the base computer. You can return to any base from the space station teleporter. Alternatively, the base may be deleted after uploading. So there you go. So you can actually delete the base after uploading. So we're going to go into here, logged in as guest. We're going to upload the base. Upload it to the servers. Mission complete. I'm going to skip that little scene there. Return to the space anomaly on the top left of the screen. Is that it? Return to the space anomaly. I always want to wait until everything has gone through and told us, you know, in redundancy, what to do. Now, we can actually go through, go into fly mode. We're going to hit C, and then we're going to delete everything. Because I want my stuff back. Now, instead of deleting the base computer, what you can do is go into the base computer, and it tells you to delete base. What that's going to do is it's going to remove the base from the system, so that way if somebody else does come to this planet, they won't see that there is a potential base here that's not actually here. Perfect. All right. Is this a monolith? No, it's a plaque. Okay. Eventually, we're going to need to find a monolith so we can find a planetary portal. Okay. Now we can go back to the anomaly. So we'll go to space and call that in. We'll go Get that priority parking at the end of the lot there. I could have swore that was part of an update a few updates back, that we would get priority parking, which I thought it would mean that you would get closest parking to the stuff in here. But whatever. Okay. Nexus. We're going to interact with that. We are going to complete the mission, and we are going to get our 2 rewards. Complete. So we got 400 Quicksilver, and what did we get? Like 15 wiring looms. It's not bad. But you can see there, I got 800 Quicksilver. We got to get up to 3,200 to be able to get that egg. So I will probably be working on a lot of these Nexus missions between episodes and stuff. Let's see what we got, though. Collect 5 Heidel cores. Yeah, that probably wouldn't be great. This is the one that you want to do for the getting the glyphs. And we're really running long. I don't think I have enough time to show you that in this episode. So maybe in the next episode, I'll find this mission again, and we'll do that. I'll show you how to do that real quick in the next episode. But I appreciate everybody joining me today. If you are liking these episodes, definitely click that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Also, make sure to visit some of my other videos, watch and like those, share them with your friends. But we will see you folks in the next one. You take care and happy hunting.